So hello everyone, my name is Orillosa. This is the continuation of the reporting about the revised Fisheries Administrative Order number 60. Subject: regulations governing the issuance of fish pond permits and or leases on public forest lands. So ari na ta sa 7. Yeah. 13. Recording of application. All mo na siya ang section 13. So recording of applications. All applications received shall be given serial numbers and shall be duly recorded in the registry book provided for the purpose. So tanan nga applications nga na-receive kuan mo kanang matagaan siya ad makatagaan na siya kuan serial numbers sa registry book. So section 14. Priority right of application. In determining the priority of applications, the following rules shall be observed. So, naay rules. Duha. So, ang una is when 2 or more applications are filed for the same area, which is unoccupied and unimproved, the first applicant shall have the right or preference thereto. So, sa duha or more than pa sa duhang applications na imong gi-filed, ang first applicant try na a right of preference. So, kaduha, B. Between an applicant for a bona fide occupant of an area available for fish pond purposes, the latter shall have the right of preference to the said area. So, sa duha between sa applicant for an bona fide occupant of an area available, ang bona fide occupant try na a right of preference. So, in which case, the actual occupant or qualified shall be advised by the director to file a fish pond application within 30 days. So, 30 days ra ang pag-file sa fish pond application. From the law to apply the land or loses his right or failure or a refusal to present his fish pond application within the time granted above. So 30 days ra jud kay kuan mawad-an siya right or ma-failure iyang or ma-refusal iyang application. He shall be acquired to vacate the premises. So section 15. Area with improvements when may be advertised. So A. The secretary or the director, as the case may be, may advertise for public bidding in improvements in an area covered by permit or lease which has been cancelled in accordance with the provisions of this order or the term of which has already expired. So, ang secretary raog director ang mag-advertise. Public bidding. So, B. Notices of bidding shall be posted on the bulletin board of the office concerned and at such conspicuous place in the provincial or municipal building of the province or municipality where the land is located for a period of not less than 30 days. Describing the area and specifying the kind and value of improvements and setting forth such terms and conditions as may be necessary in connection therewith. So, notice of the ang bulletin board sa office makes concern. So, C. Each bid must be accompanied by an application duly accomplishes a statement of the bidder's financial capacity and or qualification and the amount of bid, either in cash, certified check, or postal money order payable to the secretary or the director as the case may be. So, HB, na dyan siya murag mo bayad ka, murag sa financial capacity. Ikuan mo sa amount or in cash ba ni mo, or sa cheque ba, or sa postal money order payable. So, letter D. In the notices above that provided, the right to accept or reject any or all bids shall be reserved on grounds most advantageous to the government. So, tanan nga katong mga na-accept or na-reject, i-reserve na siya nga. Ang government try maka-advantage. So, A. only sealed bids shall be accepted. So katurang mga na-sealed nga bids moray ma-accept. So sa for phase and rental ta sa bayad-bayad ug mag-rent. So section 13. 13-16. So section 16, schedule of rentals except as hereinafter provided. The yearly rentals for each permit or lease of public lands of fish pond purposes shall be as follows. So nasa kini, the rental per hectare or fraction thereof shall be 6 pesos for the first year. So 6 pesos ra ang kada hectare per hectare or fraction nya. For sa isa ra na ka year nya, 7 pesos for the second year and an increase of 1 peso per year for the succeeding year, but not exceed 10 pesos a year. So kada isa-isa kada year is 6 pesos. Sunod mo musaka siya sa second year, mahimo na po siyang 7 pesos. Pero kada year nga musaka sakaan butangan na siya og i-increase na siya og 1 peso nya. Kada hantod nga na nga musaka na ng year nya, pero dili jud siya mulapas og 10 pesos. So section 17, rental when due and payable. The initial rental shall accrue on the day the permit or lease is issued or granted and shall be paid in advance. After the initial rental is paid, payment of subsequent rentals shall be computed and adjusted accordingly so as to make the following payments on rental due, payable on the first day of January on each. So kini rental when due nang mubayad jud ka sa June niya. Mubayad ka is the first day of January of each year. So kada first day of January, so murag New Year ka mubayad first day of January of each year. Kada year mubayad jud kag first day sa January. So the rental shall be made collectible and payable during the duration of the permit or of lease and until its such time or date the same is awarded by the Director of Lands under the Public Land Law as amended by FAO number 60 sa number section 3 sa FAO. Section 18, rental to whom payable. Payment of the rental shall be made to the director or his duly authorized representative. So section 18, asa ka muhatag sa imuhang rental. So adto ang bayad adto nimo ihatag sa director or sa mga authorized nga representative. So section 19, additional charges for default in payment of annual rental for permits or leases. Failure to pay the annual rental when it becomes due and payable shall be subject the permittee or leases to an additional charge based on the amount of the annual rental and according to the following schedule. So kini mo additional charges ka for default in payment. So kanitong kanang waka kabayad na waka kabayad sa imong rental. Siguro kanang nakuha niya na ba kay kwarta nga na kay budget. So kanang isinod ug mubayad na ka na siya additional charge sa amount nga tigbayadan jud nimo. So kini mo ni kiti schedule. Rental paid from February 1 to March 31, so 10%. Rental paid, so mao ni siya kitay for example nga mubayad ka ini rental paid from April 1 to June 30, so 15%. Rental paid to June 1 to September 30, 20%. Rental paid from October 1 to December 1, 25%. And rental paid after 1 year, mo na siya 40%. So next section. So in case of permits or leases expiring on dates other than December 31, the additional charge shall be computed and adjusted accordingly following the above schedule. So mao tong schedule katong nasa baba tong mga April nga na. So mao ni ang schedule kini for mao ni ko na schedule. So mao to ha, January, kada first day of January sa kada year. So Section 20. Refund of rentals. So mag-refund ng rentals. Rental pay during the year the permit or lease is cancelled due to no fault of the permittee or lease, and or for the failure to occupy and use the land covered thereby for reasons acceptable to the director or the secretary, as the case may be refunded, provided that the government shall suffer no damage by reason thereof. So kanang kuan ito imong gipang bayad nya nga atong rental paid nimo, pwede ka maripanan. Samot na og ganitong due to no fault of the permittee, sa mga siguro nang why bitay ni occupy, why ni failure ng occupy. So sabot na ko sabtar man. So Section 20. A certification by the Commissioner of Fisheries. For each certification issued as to the suitability or fitness of swaps for fish pond purpose, so 20 pesos. So as amended by FAO number 71 approved 3 December 1963. So kani certification of Commissioner of Fisheries, so atun ni siya akin certification ni siya ma-issue ni siya sa mga kanang bitong muswap sa fish pond. So 20 pesos ang bayad. So Section 21. Form of bond. Before any permit or lease is issued or granted, the applicant shall, as guarantee of good faith in filling his application and for satisfactory compliance with the fisheries laws and the rules and regulations thereunder promulgate, and with the terms and conditions of the permit or lease, shall be required to deposit with the commissioner as cash bond at the rate fixed in the following section, provided that in the case the cash bond required exceeds 500 pesos, a performance or surety bond for a minimum period of 5 years. So mohatag kag kanang fee nga dili mo lapas og 500 pesos. Mo na ang para surety bond, murag sure na sa imong minimum period. Posted by a duly licensed bonding company of good standing may be accepted, which shall be increased by not less than 25% in the discretion of the commissioner or the secretary. Should the bond delivered be not satisfactory to the commissioner or to the secretary, the applicant may be required to furnish a new bond within 30 days from demand. So katong applicant kung siya required siya nga mo furnish sa imong new bond from within 30 days ra. An area subject of a transfer or sublease which is not fully developed shall be subject to the corresponding cash or surety bond for the undeveloped portion or portions at the rate or schedule provided herein. So by ato magbase jud ka sa schedule nga gi-provide. So So, Section 22, Schedule of Bond. So, Schedule of Bond. So, kapasra. So, the bond deposit required for fish pond permit or lease shall be 10 pesos per hectare or fraction thereof. So, ano sir, balik ra ni sa katong mga bond nga gi-deposit sa kada fish pond permit, muhatag kag 10 pesos kada hectare niya or fraction thereof, provided that if at the end of 5 years the permittee or lease has introduced improvements in accordance with this order and satisfactory, it is complied with all the requirements of the laws, rules and regulations, and the terms and conditions of the permit or lease, the director of of the or the secretary, as the case may be, may reduce the bond to 5 pesos per hectare or fraction thereof, and after 10 years waive entirely. So kan mo na ni mohatag kag 10 kada hektar anja kanang kan sa 5 years nga nimong gi kuan sa imong fish pond, tan-aw nila og nabay improvements nya makuan ba na sa improvements with accordance to this order, ma-satisfy sila sa fish pond. So og maganahan ang kanang director or secretary, so ma-reduce ang ban to 5 pesos per hectare. Imbes kay 10 pesos per hectare, ilang i-reduce. So, Section 23, forfeiture of bond. So, the director or the secretary may confiscate or forfeit the bond or part thereof in favor or the government for any of the following reasons. So, ang director or secretary ma-confiscate siya o mo-forfeit siya sa bond. So, sa A, tulo na siya ha. Sa A, tulo ka reason. So, sa A, violation of an or failure to fulfill any of the terms, conditions, and or requirements under which the permit or lease is issued or granted. So, mo-confiscate sila samot na kay violation, failure kawan mo nabuhat ang terms and conditions or mga requirements under sa permit or lease nga gi-issued. So sabi, violation of any provisions of the fisheries laws or the rules and regulations thereunder promulgated. So ni-violate ka silang provision of fishery laws. Nya sa C, cancellation of the lease. So cancel kanang i-confiscate nila kung imong gi-cancel ang sa lease. Section 24, refund or transfer of bond deposit. So, should it be justified, any bond deposit or any residue or part thereof may be refunded upon the request of the permittee, the assigns, heirs, or administrators, and upon the submittal of the original receipt therefore. In case of loss and said receipt, an affidavit showing the circumstance of such loss may be submitted in lieu thereof. With such request for the refund or transfer of any bond deposit or any part thereof to any heir, he administrator or guardian, the appointment or designation of the same as such by the court or by the other heirs, as the case may be, shall be submitted. The request for the refund for the transfer of the bond deposit and designation of an assignee shall be subject to the approval of Auditor General. So, kuan siya katong heir og heir di ba kay taga pagmana. So, kunang request bitaw nga i-refund or i-transfer ang bond deposit sa bag-o nga heir, sa taga pagmana heir here. Tama na siya. So, expiration, renewal, or extension. Section 26. Date of expiration of permit or lease. So, A. Permit or lease may be renewed or extended subject to the same terms and conditions of the original permit or lease, and to such additional terms and conditions as the director or secretary as the case may impose. So, kuan siya, ang permit pwede siya ma-renewed or extended. Pero magbase gyapon ka sa director or secretary kay naman sila ihatag nga additional terms and conditions. So, B. A permit or lease may be renewed upon the expiration of the term granted. So, anhara ka magka-renew og maabot na ang expiration. So, therein for another period not exceeding that for which the original was issued or granted. Renewals may be granted should the same be justified or should public interest so warrant, but the combined period of the original permit and its renewal shall not exceed 20 years. So, og mag-renew ka sa imong permit, di dyan na siya mulapas og 20 years. and the combined period of the original lease and its renewal shall not exceed 50 years. So, og i-combine nimo tong period sa original nga lease og sa mag-renew ka, dili jud siya mulapas og 50 years. So, the period of 50 years shall be counted from the date the original permit was issued. So sa letter C na ta. A permit or lease may be extended even before the expiration of the term thereof. Should there be justifiable reasons to do so. So og mo kuan ka mo extend ka sa imong permit, pwede ka maka-extend before sa expiration. So example, og mo expire or sunod buwan pa mo expire nya kanang nakitay kay importante nga lakaw sa karon. So pwede ka ay sunod anang buwan na. So pwede ka mo kanang mo advance ka kanang kuan mo advance kay extend kay okay ra basta na kay justifiable reasons to do so. So na kay reasons nga ikahatag bitaw. So letter D. The permit or lease covering an area that has been reclassified into alienable and disposable land of public domain and duly awarded by the Director of Lands under the provisions of the Public Land Law shall be automatically considered terminated on the date the corresponding awards is issued, provided any and all areas on the fishman rentals and other obligations due to the area have been fully settled with the Commission of Fisheries. So kanang ang permit or lease nga na-cover sa area reclassified or alienable and disposable land public. So makuhao na sa Director of Lands under the provisions of public law. Mo automatic daw terminated to the date of corresponding. So sa C7. Collection and appropriation. So, Section 27, Collection and appropriation. All revenues accruing to the national government paid and or collected in accordance with the provisions of this order shall be accredited in accordance with the provisions of Section 65 and 66 of Act Number 4003 as amended. So, ta. So, nasabtan ra all revenues katong mga nahatag nimo accruing to the national government paid in ato makreditan jud na sa atong So, general provisions. 8. General conditions under which permits or leases are issued. Masud ni siya sa Section 28. So, every permit or lease shall govern by the provisions of this order. So, every permit or lease, ato siya mag-govern jud ang kada permit or lease, ato siya mag-govern sa provisions of this order. Ari nga order sa general conditions under which permits or leases are issued. So, as well as by those which may hereafter be issued or promulgated, especially by the following terms and conditions. So, nasa terms and conditions. So, A, power of Congress. So, the permits or leases may limit in no way the right of Congress to impose such terms and conditions as it may consider necessary for public interest. So, power of Congress. Limit siya ang to impose. Limit ra ang pag-impose sa terms and conditions. Sa B, permittee or lessee shall comply with the law, rules and regulations. So, the permittee or lessee subjects himself or itself unconditionally to all laws, rules and regulations now existing and to those that may hereafter be promulgated governing fisheries. So, katong permittee katong kuan sa land, dapat siya mo comply sa law, rules and regulations. So, letter C, legal status of land. The area granted is public forest land to the best knowledge and belief of the director of the secretary. So, nasabtan na si Sa letter D, no title acquired. So, a permittee or lessee shall have no right to a title or claim of any sort whatsoever on the land covered by the permit or lease. No such land shall be deemed to be occupied within the meaning of the Public Land Act, but shall remain subject to disposition under the Forestry and Fisheries Laws, rules and regulations. So, wa siya title nga acquired. So, letter A, adjudication of area and damage. So, the director of or the secretary, as the case may be, shall not be responsible for any loss occasioned by the adjudication of the area in favor of any claimant by the competent court, and the permittee or lease shall have no right. No right. No right. No right. No right to claim or any damage arising from such decision. So, ang director or the secretary, di sila responsible sa mga o sa may nawa anang imuhang gikuan nga area. Na kuan pod ang permittee pod o nga lease, wa sila right nga mo claim for any damage arising from such decision. So mao na to next nang sunod nga reporter nga kasunod nako. Thank you and God bless.